What's up, guys? Scotty2Hockey here, aka the Average Hockey Fan, once again, with my 5 bold predictions for the upcoming NHL season. And yes, some of them are quite bold and may take some criticism, but these are 5 predictions that I think personally maybe aren't guaranteed to happen, but I think that they could happen myself. And the first one is the Edmonton Oilers make the playoffs. With a new head coach in Dave Tippett and the new acquisition of James Neal, somehow they managed to get James Neal from Milan Lucic, I have no idea, to their top 6 forward core, Edmonton could be poised to make a playoff run. A lot of people have already written them off, but their top 6 forward core is very dangerous. Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl. Although they lack scoring depth in their bottom 6, some players like Sam Gagner and Jujhar Khaira have shown a lot of promise to me. Khaira really brings it against my team, the Habs. If Neal could score 20 goals again, which he's pretty much done throughout his whole career except for last year, and Draisaitl can maintain a 40 to 50 goal scoring pace, along with McDavid's almost guaranteed 100-point production, their offense could be one of the strongest in the West, in my opinion, and they don't get enough credit for it. If Clefbaum can have a solid bounce back year, and players like Nurse can play really well, and Evan Bouchard can come up and play well defensively, along with the acquisition of Mike Smith, who they're calling the backup, but I think could steal the starting role, Edmonton could surprise a ton of people and make the playoffs. Any team that has a generational talent player like Connor McDavid, a 50-goal scorer, really promising young defensemen like Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, and a guy like James Neal, who's really gritty and when he's on his game can score you 20 to 25 goals, and an excellent second line center in Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Who else do we got? We got Sam Gagner, we got Zach Cassian. Edmonton has a pretty good lineup. The knock on Edmonton last year was lack of scoring depth. And I really think with Jujhar Khaira stepping up, having a better season, Sam Gagner stepping up, having a better season, which I think both are very capable of, even though they're bottom 6 players, and guys like James Neal, like I say, stepping up, scoring 20 to 25 goals, McDavid keeping his pace, there's no reason why the Edmonton Oilers cannot make the playoffs. Yes, the West is going to be tough for them. There are teams around them that people consider better, but I still think that they have a really good shot at making the playoffs. And my next prediction is Ovi scores 60 goals. There is only one active player in the NHL I think can score 60 goals, and that is Alexander Ovechkin. Ovi. This is a guy who every year you watch him play, you just know there is nobody better on earth at scoring goals, period, in my opinion. With 750 plus goal seasons and 51 goals last year, I think Ovi is going to bust out and score 60 plus this year, but I think he's dead. I think he's going to score 60 myself. His cup hangover has long passed, and with Washington's core set to change over the next few years, you know he's thirsty to drink from Lord Stanley's mug again. And while he still has the chance, because like I say, Washington's core is going to change over the next few years, they're not going to be able to keep this same team intact. Whether it's aging players, UFAs, whatever, it's just not going to be the same for Ovi. And he's only under contract for the next few years himself, so he's going to want another chance at winning Lord Stanley's mug, and he can do it. And I think this year he's going to shoot the lights out every game. And I fully expect to see the best Ovi we've seen since 2008, where he had an incredible 65 goals. A lot of people who follow this channel, yes, I'm a huge Habs fan, but a lot of people who follow this channel closely, they know I'm big on Alexander Ovechkin, and as much respect as I have for players like Alexander DeBrincat, Patrick Laine, Patrick Kane, there's only one best goal scorer in the NHL, and that is hands down Alexander Ovechkin, and it's been hands down Alexander Ovechkin since he's came to the league, in my opinion. Up next, we have Rasmus Dahlin get 70 points this year in his sophomore year for the Buffalo Sabres. As much as the Sabres struggled after they had a great start to their NHL season, one young player who really blew me away, especially after the first 10 or 15 games, and really found himself was 18-year-old rookie phenom defenseman, number 1 pick in the 2018 draft, Rasmus Dahlin. He took a while to find his groove, but when he did, he took giant leaps and bounds in progression. He's pretty solid defensively, especially for an 18-year-old playing in the league. He's really solid defensively for his age, actually, despite his minus 13 he had this year. But offensively is where he's truly gifted. He has beautiful stick work in tight areas and can create his own plays from those areas. He has a great hockey IQ, and he isn't scared to jump in on a rush to help create offense and help his teammates out. His wrist shot is a thing of beauty. He has a really good one-time shot too, but the thing that really sticks out about me with Dahlin is he's a very strong skater, and he's very strong on his skates, and he's hard to get off the puck, and he has a pretty big frame for an 18-year-old. I see this guy winning Norrises in the future. I see him being a phenomenal NHL talent. There's a reason why he was drafted #1 overall. There's a reason why there was so much hype around this kid. And I know a lot of people that don't follow the Buffalo Sabres didn't hear a ton about Dahlin last year because obviously Buffalo wasn't as good as they wanted to be, but Rasmus Dahlin was amazing, and I could easily see him topping his 41 points from his rookie year and scoring 70 this year. So I predict Rasmus Dahlin is going to score 70 points. 70 points this season. And up next, I have, some people may call it bias, you can call it bias if you want, Carey Price wins the Vezina Award. Some may call me biased because Price, as people know who follow this channel, subscribers know, people who know me personally know, Carey Price is by far and away my favorite player. Not just because he's a Montreal Canadian, he's my favorite player ever in the NHL that I've ever watched play in the NHL, goalie, any position. But I fully expect him to have an incredible year in the 2019-2020 season. The addition of Ben Sherratt along with a fully healthy Weber for the full year should really boost his goaltending stats and help him make easier saves due to less traffic in front of the net. Price did struggle last year in the first 20 games, but as soon as Weber returned and the defense got better at clearing the traffic in front of Price, Price was lights out. He looked incredible down the stretch and even had the save of the year. I believe it was Sportsnet called it the save of the year against Alexander Ovechkin. That incredible diving save with about 3 seconds left in the third period of a game where it was tied. The addition of Kincaid should help him have a couple more games rest and maintain his form throughout the year. I see Price winning 40 games out of the 60-odd starts he will have. And I think he's going to post around a 930, 935 save percentage with roughly 2 goals against. And I think with Carey Price, that will be good enough to win the Vezina. Personally, and people can call it bias if they want, but I honestly, truly believe with the defense in front of me he has now, Carey Price is going to win the Vezina Award, and Montreal is going to be much better and make the playoffs. And last but not least, I definitely can't call this guy least, Phil the Thrill. Kessel tanks in Arizona, guys. Sorry, I had to say it, but Phil the Thrill tanks in Arizona. And it's not really due to him so much, it's due to the team around him. There's no doubt Phil Kessel is a dynamic player and a dynamic goal scorer, and he was excellent in Pittsburgh. Basically posting a point-a-game production the whole while he was there, and almost a lock to get 30 goals every year. But I don't think he will be as good as, and I don't think he will be that good in Arizona myself. His projected line mates that I can see, I can't remember the site I used, but looked at a bunch of sites, and his projected line mates are Christian Dvorak and Derek Stefan. Some people have Nick Schmaltz as a center, but these guys are not even close to what he had in Pittsburgh. They're not able to create plays and get him the puck the way a Sidney Crosby or Evgeny Malkin could. He will not have a high-powered offense around him, and his power play line mates, with all due respect to Arizona, will be a joke compared to what he had in Pittsburgh. He had one of the best power plays in Pittsburgh. As gifted as Phil Kessel is at putting the puck in the net, and the players around him definitely make an impact on his play. And we've seen in Toronto he isn't cut out to be a leader. Between the pressure of being an on-ice leader to a young core and a younger team, and the lack of offensive weapons he's going to have around him, I think it will affect Phil the Thrill's game, and I think he's going to go from that 80, 85 point player. I think he's going to regress to around 60 points. I still do think he will have 30 goals, but I don't think he's going to have as many assists, and I think he's only going to have about 60 points. Arizona is definitely not known as a high offensive power team. Sorry, I struggled on that one, guys. But anyways, I hope you liked the video. Of course, feel free to leave in the comments whether or not you disagree with my bold predictions. Feel free to leave a few bold predictions you have for this year. Who do you think is going to be the best goal scorer on the Habs this year? A lot of people are going to say Galley, and I would agree with you. But don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and of course, have a great day, folks. Over and out.